So we have Steven Universal versus Star Level Butterfly. Yeah, that checks out. Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is The Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my Death Battle prediction videos. And next time on Death Battle, coming up after Iron Fist versus Poe, we have Steven Universe from Steven Universe versus Star Butterfly from Star versus the Forces of Evil. Now, we knew that this one was coming. Steven Universe was one of the teased combatants at the end of Hulk versus Broly, and we all pretty much figured it was going to be Star Butterfly as Steven's opponent. I think he did have other opponents, but we knew that this one was like the really big one, the one that a lot of people wanted to see, and now it's finally here. We're already through 5 out of the 6 teased combatants, even before the halfway point, which I guess they're trying to do because they want more surprises for the second half, which is, you know, that's fine by me, honestly. But yeah, this one I'm actually pretty hyped for. I like that they're using a different variety of characters. Like, they have used cartoon characters before, like Avatar The Last Airbender, you know, Danny Phantom versus Jake Long more recently, and they just had an animated movie character, Poe the Panda, and yeah, now we're getting more cartoon characters, which I think is really cool. I do want to say, though, because I know some people can get really passionate about this fight, so I just want to say this right out of the gate. Out of all the characters in Season 8 that have been used on Season 8 of Death Battle so far, these are probably the 2 characters that I know the least about. Before, it was Heihachi versus Geese, but now it's probably these 2. But I know you guys still like seeing me do these predictions, so I'm still going to try my best. You know, I've done research. I'm going to try my best to make my best judgment based on what I know and based on what I think Death Battle is going to say. And yeah, I might get it wrong, but I might get it right, so let's just try it. Now, I'm not going to waste anyone's time with this prediction. I'm really just going to get into the big thing that everybody wants to know about, which is whether or not Star Butterfly is universal, you know, using her wand. Because, you know, if we just look at Steven Universe himself versus Star Butterfly herself, like without the wand, which sounds a little weird, but just stay with me. If we just look at those 2 things, Steven Universe himself versus Star Butterfly herself, then Steven Universe is definitely more powerful and more durable, without question. Like, I believe Steven Universe back then in like earlier seasons could be argued for around island level, but he's grown a lot in power over the course of the show. Like, if we look at, you know, more recent things he's done, he's been able to like scale to, you know, like Blue and Yellow Diamond, who majorly upscale from the Crystal Gems. So if you want like a range of power that could put him at in base form, maybe like Continental, Multi-Continental, maybe even higher than that. But then of course he also has his other forms, like he has his pink form or his pink state, and also his monster form as well. And when you start factoring in things like that, you could probably get like to the more cosmic levels of power, like upscaling from planet level or large planet level, maybe even all the way up to star level, for example. I like giving more of a range for these characters because everybody has their own opinions on what kind of level these characters could be at. So if I stick to one level, people are going to be like, actually. So, you know, I want to give more of a range, if anything else, just to give like, you know, an estimation for you guys' sake. But yeah, so that's for Steven Universe. For Star Butterfly, though, without the wand, she's been able to take like castle busting attacks before, which would probably put her at like small town level or town level, like at the very best, for example. She does have her Muberty form as well, which probably puts her strength and durability even higher, but I don't see that reaching the level of Steven, even when he's in his pink state or his, you know, monster form. And of course, Steven also has his various shields, like he has like his bubble shield, he has the shields that he can make out of thin air, which are likely even more durable than him. So in terms of physical strength and durability, at least when not looking at the wand, the wand's capabilities, I believe Steven should be more impressive. And when it comes to speed, they could just pull a Danny versus Jake and say that these characters have both dodge energy beams, which means that they have light speed reactions. You know, they might do that, they might not do that, I'm not really sure. They could go either way. If you want something more reliable, I believe both of these characters have feats that prove that they're around a small percentage of the speed of light in terms of reactions or just in terms of speed in general. Like, for example, Steven in his pink state was able to move so fast that even the Crystal Gems thought that he was a blur, or they perceived him as a blur. And they're already ridiculously fast, like, you know, relativistic, maybe give or take, but something around that level, you know? So that probably puts him at around a small percentage of the speed of light while in that state. And when it comes to Star Butterfly, if I'm recalling correctly, she was able to move around the circumference of a planet in around 4 seconds, so that's around 22 million miles per hour. So again, you're looking at about a small percentage of the speed of light. I'm not sure which feat is technically better because I don't have all the context for anything, but I think that Death Battle is probably going to put them at around the same level level in terms of speed, and even then I don't see speed being a huge deciding factor anyway. Again, I really think it depends on what they say about Star Butterfly and her wand, which we'll get into now. Now, the question really isn't whether or not the wand is capable of destroying universes when it's at its best, because we know for a fact that it can. We know that it's capable of destroying universes when it's used for the purposes of evil. We know that it has instructions for being able to restore universes that it's accidentally destroyed or broken, so, you know, that kind of seals the deal right there as well. And we know that other characters have used the wand, like Skywind. She's used the wand to destroy other universes. In fact, if I'm recalling the feat correctly, she was able to shoot a beam from one universe that she was in to another in a short time frame, which blew up that universe. So that's universe destroying power and massively faster than light attack speed if we look at all of that at face value. So again, like when looking at the statements of the wand and showings of the wand, like showing what the wand is capable of, yeah, the wand is freaking insane. Even before we get to the other spells that the wand is capable of, just in terms of power and attack speed, it's freaking crazy. Here's the real problem though. Even though the wand is capable of some ridiculous things, to my knowledge, we haven't actually seen Star Butterfly herself use the wand to do those ridiculous things. Those things either come from other characters using the wand, or it comes from statements out of a book. At least to my knowledge. There are some people who are very adamant about the whole universal level Star Butterfly, so maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something that actually puts her at that level, like maybe she has a universal feat or two, or maybe there is like more concrete scaling or more reliable scaling that puts her at that level. But if there is something like that, then I'm not aware of it. And even if she could tap into that power, then, you know, that means that she's less experienced with it. She doesn't have as much experience tapping into that kind of power if she doesn't have a feat like that outright. And it's reinforced many times in the show that Star Butterfly does not know how to use the wand to its fullest potential. So there's that as well. Now, with Death Battle, they like to analyze characters at their maximum potential. But what does that really mean here? Like, if you're looking at Star Butterfly and the wand at its maximum potential, then yeah, its maximum potential is destroying universes, or maybe even further than that. But if you're looking at, like, is it really fair to say that if Star Butterfly has not accessed that kind of power before? Again, if I'm understanding correctly, if she hasn't accessed that kind of power before, is it really fair to say that her maximum potential is something that she's never done, never shown capable of doing, you know? And, you know, she's able to, this kind of affects, like, all of her power as well. Like, she's able to create force fields, you know, but what kind of pool of energy is she working with? You know, is she working with a universe-destroying wand or something weaker than that, you know? That could kind of affect her other magic. Now, I do want to point out that she has shown to be able to manipulate both time and reality on a universal plus scale. She once froze time throughout the entire universe, and I believe she once, like, fused the entire multiverse with Marco Diaz as well, which is just ridiculous. Regardless, though, even if she hasn't actually physically destroyed a universe or a multiverse, she has manipulated it before. So I don't know if Death Battle would use that as, like, supporting evidence to say that she could destroy universes, but manipulating something and destroying something is very different, so they might not want to go that direction either. So yeah, it's just really hard to say. And if she's not universal, then what kind of power is she working with? You know, it's hard to say. Like, does she downscale from it a lot, or would she only downscale it from it a bit? Like, this fight makes my head hurt because I really have no idea what Death Battle is going to say. It really just feels like it's me guessing. But now let's take a bit of a break from that and just look at their overall abilities, because these characters have a lot of abilities and a lot of abilities that somewhat overlap. Like, both of these characters have a limited size changing and shape changing abilities. They both have creation abilities, like Steven likes to create his shields and other weapons just out of thin air, and Star Butterfly just has a lot of creation spells. They can both summon or create allies. Like Steven Universe, of course, he has his plant manipulation. He can create, like, watermelon Stevens, and I believe been able to, like, summon pink cupcake fighters before, or just, like, you know, just as an example, I believe she's just able to, like, summon allies like Steven Universe can do. Both of them have, like, mental and empathic manipulation, but I believe they both also have, you know, mental resistances, at least to a limited degree as well. I know Steven Universe does. I believe Star Butterfly does as well, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Regardless, though, I believe they have some resistances to non-physical attacks. And Steven Universe also has his possession ability, like his body possession ability, but he needs to be asleep in order to use it. Of course, he can also fuse with other gems, but of course he needs to be with other gems in order to do that as well. He also has, like, a bunch of just, like, physical resistances. He's got self-sustenance, he can self-heal, he can heal others as well, and he also has, like, you know, a bunch of different power sources. Like, he can use his emotions or his rage to access more power, so that's pretty impressive. Star Butterfly, on the other hand, looking at some of her own abilities, you know, she has energy attacks. Like I said before, she has time freezing and reality manipulation on universal plus scales, but she also has, like, elemental mental manipulation, she's got telekinesis, gravity control, transmutation, she can create transdimensional portals, she can create illusions, etc, etc. Of course, both of these characters have way more. They have like really vast arsenals, but I didn't want to go over everything. I just wanted to go over the basics just to give you guys an idea of what they're capable of. So yeah, both of these characters have a lot of different abilities, and it's really hard to say who's technically more versatile in terms of quantity, but I think that in general, Star Butterfly just has more powerful abilities through her spells, at least when looking at an overall sense, especially when you're looking at things like the time stopping, reality manipulation, gravity control, and again, especially on the scope that she can do those abilities on, or she can perform those abilities on. But again, if she indeed does not have more power than Steven Universe, it's kind of tough to say whether or not she would actually be able to capitalize on those, or if those would be enough to be able to turn the tables. Steven Universe probably has better shields overall if she doesn't have that kind of power, but if she does have that kind of power, then she might be able to get past those shields, or be able to even create shields that are even stronger than Steven Universe's shields. So again, this whole whether or not Star Butterfly has universal power kind of affects everything, you know, and it's really annoying when that kind of thing happens. In general, it seems that Steven Universe is just, you know, more well-rounded because he has a lot of different abilities, and in physical stats, he's not really lacking in any of them. He's really impressive physically and when it comes to his abilities, whereas Star Butterfly, again, just relies really heavily on the wand when it comes to, you know, her strongest attacks and her strongest abilities, and she's kind of lacking in terms of physical strength and durability. But again, if she does get that universal power, then that would basically make stronger everything. She would have a better pool of magic, she'd be able to output more, she'd be able to create better shields. Again, if we can scale her to that feat that Skywyn did, then that would be, you know, massively faster than light attack speed as well. But I don't know if we can scale Star Butterfly to that, so I don't know. Again, like, if we want to put, like, a baseline for what Star Butterfly should be capable of, I believe she has a spell that's capable of destroying planets, but if that's really the extent of her abilities, if that's really the extent of what she herself can do, then that's probably not enough to keep up with Steven Universe in terms of his most powerful, and is probably not enough to get past his shields either. But then again, I keep going back to the fact that there are so many different claims that, you know, oh, you know, the wand is universal, which I find really difficult to ignore. You know, and the fact that she can manipulate, you know, time and reality on that universe plus level, this is just a headache and a half. Oh my goodness. So if you guys couldn't tell by now, based on my rambling and based on me just jumping all over the place, I really have no idea who's gonna win this one. I could see Death Battle going either way in terms of the analysis based on Star Butterfly's abilities, and it's just one of those things where I cannot confirm what Death Battle is going to say until the Death Battle comes out. So I have no way of knowing what we're working with, or at least no way of knowing what we're working with exactly. And it's just one of those things that sucks because I've been on such a winning streak since the beginning of Season 8 in terms of my predictions, and I just fear that this is going to be the one where I get it wrong because, one, I don't know as much about the characters, or at least as much as the other Death Battle predictions that I've done recently, and also just because, again, it's really ambiguous when it comes to this kind of scaling, and Death Battle is kind of a wild card when it comes to this kind of ambiguous scaling. Again, they could lean one way, but they could lean the other way. I really don't know what they're willing to buy, and I don't want to make a conditional prediction or anything like that, like saying that if they put Star at universe level, then she'll win, or if they put Star at, like, only planet level or something, then maybe Steven would win or anything like that. I don't want to say anything like that, because I think that's a little cheap, and I don't want to be like, you know, oh, no prediction, like I'm not leaning one way, because then I've just wasted your time, even though I am very inclined to do that, because again, I have no idea. I really do not know. This is just one of those where I have to go with my gut, and I know that no matter what I say, I'm gonna piss people off, whether it's because I lean one way or because, you know, I don't have all the information. I always say do not take my Death Battle predictions as fact, and that especially goes for this one, because again, I don't know the scaling, and I don't know everything about the characters. I just don't. So again, this is gonna be tough. I gotta go with my gut. I know no matter what I say, I'm gonna piss people off. In terms of who I actually think would win, again, I can't say that for sure because I don't know the proper scaling. I don't know the proper levels that these characters should be at. But, you know, this is more so me trying to determine what Death Battle is going to say, or me trying to predict what Death Battle is going to say. And based on that, I am leaning more towards Star for the win. And again, I know that just those words coming out of my mouth, it's going to piss some people off. I do think that Steven has a good chance of winning this, you know, and if he does win, I'll totally understand why. It's just that I'm overestimating what they're giving for Star. But I think that they are going to find a reason, or they're going to find a way to get Star at least close to that universal level. Whether they're going to use, you know, her manipulating time and reality, you know, at that level as like supporting evidence, or whether like it's been like, whether it's because of some battle that she was in where she fought some character who could potentially scale to, you know, universe destroying power. Again, the fact that they keep reinforcing that the wand, you know, has universe destroying capabilities, and that Star, you know, has affected the universe and the multiverse before, even though she hasn't destroyed it, she still affected it. I find that very difficult for Death Battle to just outright ignore, you know? I find it difficult for them to just say, you know, oh yeah, no, all of these things have happened, but Star Butterfly, you know, isn't, you know, approaching universal. I find that, of course, they could just say, you know, oh, you know, the wand is capable of this, but Star Butterfly is not capable of this when using the wand. And if so, I'll totally understand that. But I just think that, you know, based on her, again, I still think she has overall better abilities. Again, the time stop and reality manipulation, no matter what scale that's on, that's still going to be difficult for Steven Universe to defend against. I think that Steven has some really powerful shields, and I think that his pink state and his monster form are really powerful as well. I just think that Death Battle is going to find a way to get Star Butterfly to that level. That is just my opinion. Again, I think it really depends on whether or not they scale her to you know, statements about the wand and what other characters have done with the wand. You know, I really think that that's what this is going. That's what's going to determine it. But I think that they are going to find a way to get Star at that level. Again, I really just depends on that. But that is my prediction. Again, I have no idea who's going to win, but that would be my guess, that they are going to try, or they are going to find a way to get Star on that level, and that is going to give Star the win. But anyway, guys, that is my 2 cents on the fight. I know that there is going to be screaming people in the comments, whether they're screaming at me or screaming at each other, but please try to be respectful. This is all in good fun, or at least that's what I hope this is. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm really excited for this fight, no matter what happens. I think it's going to be a good one. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.